Hello everybody, this is the part 5 of solving the Kaplan exam kit. In the previous videos we have solved all these chapters. So make sure that you check those videos so that you will be able to solve those chapters, and then you can come and watch this video where we are solving the last few chapters, which is learning and training at work, review and appraisal, personal effectiveness and communicating in business. So the playlist of everything is given in the description box below. There are two playlists. One has the exam kit solutions and the other has the study text explanation solutions. So we'll start with learning and training at work. A trainee accountant has been given a mentor at his firm. This mentor will be available to his student if he has any questions or needs further information about anything to do with his job. This would be the example of dash learning of the training accountant. So, giving you a minute, try to find the answer by yourself and then I'll discuss. So, this is something which is related to the informal way of learning. Why? Because there are no goals or there's nothing which is formally managed. This is something which is informal in nature. So mentoring is an example of informal training. Informal learning. Learning can be defined as the process of acquiring knowledge through experience which leads to a change behavior. Which two of the following are features of a learning organization? Learning from others and past experience, avoidance of the risk of failure where possible, a detailed system of controls over employee activities, generation and transfer of knowledge throughout the organization. So, learning from others, that is a valid point, and a detailed system of controls, avoidance of risk, generation and transfer of knowledge within the organization. So, the answer would be C. Kolb has suggested that there are 4 stages in the learning process. So, which of them is not given by Kolb? So, what do you think out of these? What is not given by Kolb? If you could recall, divergent. So, divergent is a style of learning, while the others are the stages of learning process. So, we are talking about stages of learning process. So, divergent was never a stage of learning process. According to Honey and Mumford, what style of learning is being adopted by each person? J dislikes reading instruction booklets and prefers hands-on approach to learning. So somebody who just wants to work hands-on approach, so that would be an activist. H learns by watching others undertake a task first before he takes the task themselves. So somebody who would first like to see what others are doing is a reflector. Kolb argued that there are 4 stages of learning which always begins with concrete experience. Is that true? No. Because Kolb argues that there are 4 stages to the learning process. Okay. They form a circle, and Kolb said that anyone can start from anywhere, whichever is comfortable for them. Accommodative learners enjoy concrete experiences and active experimentation. So that is true. Why? Because the accommodative learners, if you can recall what was being said, they are somebody who learn from the concrete experiences and active experimentation. Which of the following learning styles is best adjusted to acquiring knowledge from group interaction and teamwork? So, teamwork and group interaction would be done by an activist. So, an activist would learn with everybody and go with it, right? So, that is what is done by an activist. Honey and Mumford classified 4 different learning styles. Which of the following statements accurately describes the pragmatist? So, prefers to understand the principles, prefers to think things through first, prefers to try things hands on, prefers to see practical examples. So, what is this? Firstly, somebody who wants to prefer understand the principles, they are theorists. Thinking things first. So, somebody who thinks things through first, that is a reflector. And then when you come to C, which is trying a things hands on, so that would be done by an activist. So somebody who would like to see practical examples is done by a pragmatist. So somebody hands on is an activist, and someone who would like to see practical examples is a pragmatist. An important implication of Kolb and Honey and Mumford theories is that people will tend to learn more effectively if learning is geared to their preferred learning style. Which team matches each definition? The activities which aim at developing skills, values, and understanding required in all aspects of life. So, something which is related to all aspects of life. The growth or realization of a person's ability and potential through conscious or unconscious learning. Okay, so realization of person's ability through conscious or unconscious learning is development. Activities which aim at developing skills, values, and understanding. So, values and understanding, this would be something related to education. The following are the stages in training and developing process. So, what would be the order? Identification of needs, and then we'll be setting training objectives, and then we would be having the program design, and then we would be having the evaluation and validation of the training program, right? So the first would be identification of needs, and then we would set the training objectives, and then we would be having a program design, and then we'll have the evaluation and validation. Alex is undertaking performance appraisal on his staff for the year. What stage is the training and developing? Okay, performance appraisal. So, what would be the performance appraisal? So, when you think about performance appraisal, we need to think about the okay. So, review of the staff performance and aspirations can be used to identify possible training and development things which are lacking and which are required in the organization. So, what would that mean? That performance appraisal would mean that we can identify the needs which are required to be improved in the organization, right? Review and appraisal of individual performance. Julian's manager has informed him of the goals that will be measured against for the coming year. At the end of the year, Julian's manager then discussed how well Julian performed against these targets in the year and what the following year's targets should be, along with how Julian would be expected to achieve his targets. So, what would this mean? So, this is something which is related to monitoring. Why? Because Julian has had targets set, but his manager has failed to monitor his performance and provide regular feedback. So, which process has been missing in this? So, they have done everything. They reviewed, they had an action plan, they even set targets, but then they did not monitor it on a timely basis. Which of the following is not a usual purpose of annual performance appraisal? Okay, so something, the decision to terminate an employee would not normally be taken at annual appraisal. So, annual appraisal is something where we identify the training of employees or where we have certain promotions and everything. But annual appraisal is not a situation where we sort and think about the fact of kind of, terminating anybody. Performance assessment criteria should only include quantitative issues rather than skill or judgment based criteria. This is false because we'll be needing to see every aspect. Performance appraisal could be seen as a part of company's succession planning strategy. Okay, so do you think succession planning would be related to performance appraisal? Obviously, it will be. Hans is an employee having an appraisal with his manager Ali. Ali informs Hans that his performance has been poor throughout the year. Giving a number of incidents and scenarios to back up her statements, she concludes that he needs additional training during the following year, improving his performance. So, what do you think he did? He told, but he didn't just tell, he even sold, right? He tried to convince him with his every explanation and point sheet. The reasons for staff leaving fall into these categories. So, why do you think people leave the organization? They leave due to either the um, avoidable reasons, obviously, and they might also leave due to unavoidable reasons. But staff will also lead because of dischargement. So, it is all the three. Mari has recently been told that she is being dismissed from her job due to her no longer having the required skills for her role. So this is something which comes under what? Mary has been told that she is being dismissed from her job due to no longer having the skills for the role. So discharge could be a result of employer's unsuitability. Sorry. So this is an example of discharge as Mary is being dismissed. Avoidable would involve pay or conditions, while unavoidable would include illness. So she's being dismissed. If the word dismissed wasn't there, then it would have been redundancy. But then here, the answer would be discharge because the word dismissed has been used. Staff turnover can be calculated by dividing the total number of people leaving the organization by the total number of in the workforce. So according to me, it should be 1 and then. Okay, so we'll just try to understand how do we calculate staff turnover. So staff turnover, what is the formula of staff turnover? So, what do you think would be the answer for the would be the formula for staff turnover and expressing the result as a percentage? So, this would be total number leaving the organization upon average number of workforce. So always remember the formula. How do you calculate the staff turnover? Staff turnover is calculated by total members leaving the organization upon the average number in the workforce. So that would be total number of employees leaving the organization by the average number in the workforce. Which of the following is not a key feature of effective appraisal? So, what do you think would not be a key feature of effective appraisal? So, that would be appraisals do not have to be formal to be effective, right? So, you don't really need it to be formal in nature. Even if it's informal, it's still ineffective. It would like not be, right? Violetta has a large number of tasks waiting for her attention and has realized she needs to prioritize them. One task is high importance, but Violetta has a number of weeks left before this. So, what approach should she take dealing with this task? So, has a large number of tasks. She realizes she needs to prioritize. One task is high importance, but not urgent. So, which means she can delegate the task. She can delegate the task for now, because there is a lot of time left. Javier is struggling to manage his time effectively. Which of the following could be the reason? Javier has an established job with routine and predictable work. Own office colleagues are all based in the same office, finds it difficult to be assertive with his colleagues. So, if Javier finds it difficult to be assertive with his colleagues, then obviously he's wasting a lot of time. Intranets are designed to allow individuals to electronically send messages and attachment. That's not true. Intranet is an internet which is accessible by anybody in the organization. Electronic data exchange enables automatic ordering between organizations, which reduces the need for physical good requests forms to be printed. Okay, so electronic data exchange is correct, but as you know that is not the definition of intranet. Which of the following statements regarding competency framework is incorrect? Competency frameworks can be used to identify training needs within the organization. Competency framework should be regularly updated. Competency frameworks are a list of formal qualifications. So it is not something which is like moreover related to the form world, it's just moreover related to the skills. Counseling normally deals with issues such as, okay, so what does the counseling need? Production of a set of concrete goals that the individual needs to achieve. So it is neither of them, because this is something which is related to mentorship, and this is something which is related to the training and stuff like coaching, right? Coaching and mentorship. These are not related to the um, counseling. The process of offering help, guidance, and advice to facilitate the learning and development of one another. Okay, so something which is related to the what do you say? Development of one another, learning, guidance, and help to learning. So that would be mentoring, helping another individual to deal with the problem or problems. So that would be counseling. Robert is a new employee. Olivia is a long serving employee and has been asked to offer Robert any practical advice and support. So she is asked to be the role model. So obviously, that would be a role of a mentor. Jennifer has a large number of work tasks that needs doing in the near future. When deciding on which order to approach the tasks in, so she work tasks that need doing in the near future. So, when deciding on which order to approach the tasks in, so what would she do? So, she has to see the tasks which have the highest business impact. Personal effectiveness is best described as, so personal effectiveness is setting right goals and then securing them. So being effective means getting the result you want. So that would be setting the right goals and objectives and then securing them. Which of the following is not likely to be a goal of personal development plan? Growth during a person's career, meeting weekly sales target, developing skills, realizing personal aspirations. So meeting weekly sales target has nothing to do with your personal development plan. Which two of the following are characteristics of good quality objectives? Measurable, time constrained, representative, and activity based. Okay, so if you can recall this, then there was nothing which was representative or activity based. So good quality objectives. Do you remember the acronym which was SMART? So they were specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So this is just one and two. Two employees have recently been arguing over access to business computer systems. The manager feels that the conflict is not serious and will sort itself out. So, because of this, they decided not to intervene. So, if that is the situation, then they are in denial. Omar is a manager in BHB. Two of his employees are in conflict. Omar realizes that they have to work together regularly in the future, but it is worried that serious conflict may destroy. So now, what is the only option left when such a situation happen? So in such a situation, just a second, yeah. In such a situation, resolution involves solving the problem. So if that is the thing, so Omar, it's also written that Omar has no control over the IT staff, and Omar realizes have to work regularly in the future. So he said that we need them to work regularly. So this would be something which would be related to reduction or resolution. So resolution means involves solving the problem that is causing conflict. But then you can't resolve the problem because Omar does not have control. So the only option left is reduction. Samantha is concerned that a member of her staff is not performing effectively at work. What could be the consequence? So the answer would be A. Consider the following. Rape and communication is used by managers. That is not true. When communicating with others, the majority of information passed on to other person is transmitted through the words rather than other means such as body language. No, there are non-verbal and verbal both ways. So the answer is D, neither. Ian is trying to communicate with all the staff within his department. He has placed an information on the business intranet, but nobody saw the. You can pause and read the entire video. Nobody looked to the. So what do you think he did? So Ian, he couldn't choose a proper channel through which he could send his information. Use of predetermined lists of recipients for instructions, control reports, etc., often results in some of the recipients investigating matters that have no relevance to the job they do. So, most companies produce such examples which are distributed, but then, if information is regularly sent out to a set list of people, many of them may find that the information is not relevant to them. If you send the same list to everybody, then people will obviously start thinking that it's not relevant for us. So, barriers to communication consists of anything that stops information getting to its intended recipients. So, barriers to communication also, so see, this is true. This statement is true, but barriers to communication is also something that stops information from being understood by its recipients and acted upon. So it can also be caused by many more things. So information getting to its intended recipients, that's not the only thing, intended recipients, that it is reaching someone else, but there are many other ways as well. Which of the following is an example of lateral communication? So what do you think is a lateral communication? Means that it is something which is related to the horizontal communication. Lateral means coming together in a committee. Lateral is not diagonal. Do not get confused with the word lateral as diagonal. Lateral means horizontal. Indira is a manager in a company. Her employees have recently complained that ICE department is suffering from a lack of upwards communication. So, when there is a lack of upward communication, then what would be the answer? So then, if such a situation happens, then there won't be participation with the junior staff. So junior staff won't be able to participate because there is no upward communication. Felix has recently sent out an email informing his colleagues of a change. His colleagues are now complaining that they have already started the work on the customer order and now the work is being wasted. So what is missing in that? So it is not given on time, right? So timely. Information overload usually leads to individual being unable to decide what is important and what is not important. That's true. Research in communication network has shown that the quickest way to reach a conclusion, if you could recall, what was the quickest way? So quickest way means that the wheel is the quickest way to reach a solution. Under the pressure, the all channel system, okay, under the time pressure, the all channel system either deliver even better results, reforms into a circle, slows down these structures. Okay, so what do you think is the all channel system? So all channel system is something which would take a lot of time, but it restructures under time pressure. The all channel system restructures or disintegrates. So if you need it to happen quickly, if you want the result ASAP, then the all channel system must obviously restructure or disintegrate. For complex problem, the network to facilitate the best decision. Okay, so the best decision would be given by, so timely would not be given by this, timely would be given by wheel. But if you want the best decision, then all channel is the best way to go. Which of the following statements is an example of diagonal communication? So what do you think is diagonal communication? So diagonal communication would mean. Okay, so what is diagonal communication? Think about it. So, diagonal communication is between individuals or group at different levels of hierarchy. So, A is related to a vertical, B is this a junior marketing manager with the procurement manager, right? So, that would be the example of. See. Hugo manages a team in GSA company. He emails information to individual team members as needed. The team members send the information back to Hugo, then he form for the relevant points to the rest of them. Individual team members do not communicate with each other. So that would be something which would be related to the wheel, because they do not communicate with each other. This is how a wheel would be. The manager is sending information to them, he is sending information back, he's sending here, he's back, he's here, he's back, he's here, he's back. So they are not communicating in between each other. So that's it, we're done with all the chapters, section 1. So in the next videos we will be doing the section 2 of all the chapters. This is very essential and very important, and it's easy also. And make sure that you watch the chapter explanation videos and also the other videos of the Kaplan exam kit solutions. I have linked the playlists in the description box below. Thank you.